No one's paying your rent. Grow up, my mom announced. My dad agreed. No job? No rent? No room. I nodded, packed silently. They didn't know I had just won $8 million. An hour later, I got an email. My parents charged my credit card with $18,000 I never agreed to. The next day, I bought their house, changed the locks, and left them a formal notice. And then, you know what, Max? No one's paying your rent anymore. Grow up. My mom's voice cut through the kitchen like a blade, her face twisted with contempt. My dad, leaning against the doorway, crossed his arms and added with that familiar sneer, no job, no rent, no room. I stood there, still in my work shirt, the scent of stale coffee and stress clinging to me. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I didn't even flinch. I nodded, turned around, and walked to my room. It wasn't like I didn't see it coming. The past year had been a constant parade of cold stares and clipped tones. They were sick of me, the failed son, the embarrassment they whispered about to the rest of the family. Silently, I grabbed my backpack and tossed in the essentials, my laptop, a few clothes, my worn-out sneakers. I didn't pack much. I didn't need much. They didn't know. They didn't know about the email I'd received 2 days ago, the one congratulating me on winning the $8 million lottery. I hadn't told anyone. I was still wrapping my head around it myself. But as I slung the backpack over my shoulder, a cold, defiant smile tugged at my lips. I passed the kitchen. Mom was still scrolling on her phone, barely glancing up. Dad had already wandered off, probably to watch his favorite news channel and curse about how the world was full of freeloaders like me. Take care. I managed, my voice steady. They didn't even respond. The air outside was crisp, the kind that smelled of rain and gasoline. I walked to my beat-up Honda, tossed my bag in the passenger seat, and slid behind the wheel. For a moment, I just sat there, staring at the steering wheel, my mind racing with 1,000 thoughts. Should I tell them? Should I make a scene? Should I finally yell back? No, not worth it. I started the engine, and the car coughed to life, shuddering like an old man struggling to stand. But it moved, and that was enough. Just as I reached the corner of the street, my phone buzzed, a notification from my bank app. My stomach clenched as I glanced down. Your card ending in 4291 has been charged $18,000 at Household Warehouse. What? I pulled over, heart pounding. Household Warehouse. $18,000? I hadn't authorized any charge like that. Then it hit me, my parents. I had given them access to my credit card months ago, back when I was trying to help out. Back when I thought being the good son meant making sacrifices, even if it meant being used. Fury blazed through me, cold and clear. All right, I whispered, gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. You want to play games? Let's play. I didn't call them. I didn't message them. I didn't storm back, demanding an explanation. No, I had a better idea. An hour later, I parked outside a real estate office in downtown. The agent looked surprised when I asked to buy a house. Their house. The same place I had grown up in, the one my parents still lorded over me. By the time the papers were processed, the sun had set, painting the sky a burnt orange. I had the title deed in hand, the keys in my pocket, and a plan in my mind. I pulled back into the neighborhood, parked a few houses down, and waited. Just enough time to see their kitchen lights still on, my mother's silhouette moving past the window. Just enough time to feel the weight of everything they'd ever said to me. The insults, the dismissals, the constant reminders of how I was a disappointment. Not anymore. At midnight, I walked up to the front door and slipped a formal eviction notice under the door. A neat, official letter, signed with my name. In the morning, they would wake up and learn that they no longer lived here. And that was just the beginning. For years, I was their walking ATM with a heartbeat. And I only just realized it. I sat in my cramped apartment, the same one my parents refused to pay for, staring at my bank statements. A list of endless transactions stretched before me, each one like a slap in the face. Restaurants, electronics, a vacation in the Maldives. They didn't even try to hide it. Their names were right there. $18,000 on home appliances, $4,200 on catering and parties, $12,000 on shopping, mostly women's clothing. But the worst part? I let it happen. I gave them access to my credit card because I thought I was helping my family. Back then, I still believed in the illusion of family loyalty. I thought they loved me. I remembered covering their mortgage, paying their bills, even paying for my sister's college. She never once said thank you. Not once. My parents always called it my family duty, but their real duty was to humiliate me. The real shock came when I saw the video. I was fixing my dad's old car in the driveway, grease covering my hands, sweat dripping from my forehead. I thought he was filming me because he was proud. Stupid me. A few hours later, the video appeared in our family chat, captioned, "Our son still doesn't know how to make a living." My cousins laughed. "Free mechanic for the family, LOL. Maybe he'll learn something useful for once." Even my aunt jumped in. "Such a sweet boy. Shame he has no ambition." But that wasn't enough for them. My dad posted the video on Facebook. Publicly. 60 comments. People I knew from school, old friends, even some girls I used to like, were laughing at me. Is that Max? Still struggling, huh? Imagine wasting your life doing free work. What a joke. My phone buzzed endlessly with notifications, but the worst part? I didn't even defend myself. I just closed the app, staring into the dark, feeling anger boiling inside me. But that was just the beginning. The family dinner, the final insult. I tried one last time. I thought if I showed them kindness, they would finally see me. I bought them a brand new smart TV, a gesture of goodwill. Maybe this would bring us together. I walked into the dining room, smiling, holding the box. "This is for you. I hope you like it." My dad raised his glass of wine, a twisted smile on his face. "Let's drink to my naive son. Thinks he can buy our love with the TV." How touching. Laughter. That choking, bitter laughter. My sister leaned back, barely able to contain herself. Well, at least he's trying to be useful. I stood there, my fists clenched so hard my nails dug into my palms. I forced a smile, my throat burning with shame. I turned to leave, but then I heard them in the kitchen, their voices like knives. "I need to get another $500 off his card for a new phone," my sister whispered. "If he finds out?" my mom asked. "He won't. Even if he does, he's too much of a coward to say anything." I froze. I was too much of a coward? After everything I'd done for them? I pulled out my phone, opened my banking app, and blocked their access. My breathing was shaky, but a cold sense of control was taking over. And then I saw it, her messages. Accidentally left open on her laptop, my sister's chat with her friend. "I just grabbed another $500 for a new dress. My brother's too dumb to notice." "Did you tell your parents?" "They know. They don't care. He's such a loser." And another one. "If he ever tries to complain, I'll just say he tried to steal from me." Mom and Dad always believe me. My hands trembled, but not with fear. With rage. I checked the bank again, $50,000 gone in a year. Restaurants, vacations, gifts. All on me. All because they thought I was too weak to fight back. But I wasn't weak. Not anymore. I found their messages, their jokes, their sneers. And something snapped inside me. I didn't feel sadness. I didn't feel betrayal. Only a cold, focused fury. I was done being their fool. But I wasn't just going to leave. I was going to end this. Completely. I walked out without a word. No one even noticed I was gone. But they would. Very soon. They didn't know what was coming. I walked back into that house with a calm smile, a confidence I hadn't felt in years. My parents were sitting in the living room, Mom scrolling through her phone, Dad half asleep with the TV blaring some news channel. Ava was in the kitchen, laughing on a call, probably with one of her fake friends. "Hey, can we all talk?" I asked, my voice light, almost cheerful. Dad grunted, Mom glanced up, and Ava frowned. "Can it wait?" She sighed. "No, it really can't," I replied, walking straight to the dining table and placing a thick folder on it. "It's important." My calmness must have confused them because they actually listened. Ava dragged herself over, still staring at her phone, while Dad leaned back, crossing his arms. Mom's face was a mask of mild irritation. "What's this about?" Dad grumbled. "Just some family business." I thought it was time we cleared a few things up. I flipped open the folder, revealing a neat stack of printed screenshots. The first was Ava's chat with her friend. "I just grabbed another $500 for a new dress. My brother's too dumb to notice." Dad's eyes widened, his face paling slightly. "What is this?" Ava snapped, her voice rising. "Calm down, we're just getting started." I flipped to the next page, more messages, this time between Ava and another friend. "If he ever tries to complain, I'll just say he tried to steal from me." Mom and Dad always believe me. Her face turned red. "You're invading my privacy," she shrieked. "Oh, you want privacy now?" I leaned forward. "You mean like the privacy you used to sneak money from my account? Like the $18,000 for that emergency home appliance purchase?" Mom gasped, but I wasn't done. I pulled out a printed bank statement. "Look here, $12,000 at luxury stores, $4,200 at a resort. Did you have fun? I hope so. Because you used my money for all of it. Dad slammed his fist on the table. You don't talk to us like this, boy. We are your family. Family. I laughed, a cold, sharp sound. Is that what you call this? Stealing from me? Mocking me in front of relatives? Using me like your personal bank? You're being dramatic, Ava snapped, standing up. You've never taken responsibility. Always trying to buy love because you know no one actually cares about you. Sit down. My voice was like ice, and for once, she obeyed. I turned to Mom. Did you know Dad posted that video of me fixing his car? Called me a loser in front of everyone. Got over 60 comments laughing at me. Mom's lips quivered. Your father was just joking. You take things too seriously. Of course. I'm always the joke. I leaned back. But not anymore. I pulled out the final document, a property deed with my name on it. See this? This house, it's mine now. I bought it. The deed is in my name. Legally. Their faces drained of color. Dad's mouth hung open, his voice stumbling. Why you can't? You wouldn't. I did. While you were busy spending my money, I was busy buying this house. You live here because I let you. But that's about to change. Mom's eyes filled with tears. Please, Max, we're family. We didn't mean. Family. I leaned forward, my voice low and deadly. Family doesn't lie. Family doesn't steal. Family doesn't humiliate you for fun. Ava's mask of arrogance cracked. Fine, you win. You always wanted to be the hero, didn't you? Well, congratulations, you're the villain now. Hero? No. I smiled, a cold, cruel smile. I'm something else now. And then I dropped the final bomb. Oh, and before I forget, I won the lottery, $8 million. But guess what? Not a single cent is going to you. Silence. Crushing, soul-shattering silence. It felt like the air was sucked out of the room. Ava's face twisted with shock and desperation. Max, please, I'm your sister. You've only taken advantage of me, I snapped. You lied, stole, and manipulated me for years. And you know what? I let you. That was my mistake. But it ends now. Mom burst into tears. We didn't know. We didn't mean to. Spare me. I stood up, grabbing the folder. I'll be sending a formal eviction notice soon. You have a week to pack your things. Dad tried to lunge at me, his face red with fury. You ungrateful. I stepped aside, and he stumbled, slamming against the wall. I leaned in, whispering, Ungrateful? You have no idea what I've done for you. But you will. Very soon. I walked out, slamming the door behind me. Their screams and sobs muffled by the thick walls. But I wasn't done. No. I was just getting started. They thought I was bluffing. They thought I would come crawling back, begging for forgiveness. They were wrong. 3 days later, the eviction notice arrived. A cold, official letter with my name at the bottom. They had 7 days to vacate the house, my house. It didn't take long for the calls to start. At first, they were just angry. Max, you can't be serious. This is our home. Dad's voice was a mix of rage and desperation. Your home? You mean the home I paid for? The one I bought while you wasted my money on vacations and shopping. I said calmly. Yes, you have a week. Max, please, Mom's voice trembled. We're family. We didn't mean to hurt you. You have to understand it. I understand perfectly. You used me. You lied. You stole from me. And now you're suffering the consequences. I hung up, but they didn't stop. The messages flooded in. Mom, please, Max. We have nowhere to go. Dad, you ungrateful. After everything we did for you. Ava, Max, please. You can't do this. I'm your sister. We can work this out. I ignored them all. A day later, Dad showed up at the door of the house, my house, banging like a madman. I watched him through the security camera feed on my phone. He was raging, screaming my name, cursing me. Then the neighbors came out, watching the spectacle. He tried to push the door, but it was locked. He was locked out of his own kingdom. Max, open this door. You're still my son. You can't do this. But I could. And I did. On the 5th day, I saw them trying to gather their things, stuffing them into bags. Ava was crying, calling someone, probably one of her friends, begging for a place to stay. Mom was pleading with Dad, who was just sitting on the front steps, staring blankly at the ground. I wasn't cruel. I didn't throw them onto the street. I gave them time to pack. But I made one thing very clear, they were done living off me. And then, on the 7th day, I walked up to the house with a locksmith. I didn't even look at them as I passed by. Max, Please, please, don't do this. Mom's voice was hoarse, her face streaked with tears. Don't make me call the police for trespassing, I said, my voice calm, cold. Dad looked at me with eyes full of hatred. You think you're better than us now? You think your money makes you powerful? No, Dad, I smiled. Your greed made me powerful. The locksmith changed the locks while they watched, helpless. I gave them one final look. You have 30 minutes to take whatever you can carry. After that, you're trespassing. They scrambled, grabbing suitcases, shoving clothes, shoes, and cheap jewelry into them. Ava tried to drag a massive suitcase out, but it was too heavy. Dad's pride kept him from asking for help. Good. When the clock hit 30 minutes, I shut the door, and I locked it. I stood inside, listening to them bang, plead, and finally, walk away. Their muffled cries faded down the driveway. But I wasn't done. I pulled out my phone, opened Facebook, and typed. To everyone who thought I was a loser, a failure, a joke, here's the truth. My family used me for years, stole from me, lied to me, humiliated me. They thought I would always be too weak to fight back. But not anymore. I bought their house, the same house I paid for while they laughed at me. I evicted them, and I am done being their victim. I am done being anyone's victim. I attached screenshots of Ava's messages, the bank statements showing how they drained my accounts, and even the video Dad posted mocking me. I posted it publicly. Within an hour, it exploded. Hundreds of comments flooded in. People I hadn't spoken to in years reached out. Max, I had no idea. I'm so proud of you. Finally standing up for yourself. Good for you. Your family got what they deserved. But then there were the texts from my parents. The calls. They tried to defend themselves online, calling me ungrateful and cruel. But the evidence was there. No one believed them. Ava even tried to spin the story, saying I manipulated them, but her own messages betrayed her. The next day, I woke up to see that my post had gone viral. People were sharing it, commenting, even messaging me asking for advice on how to escape toxic families. Some shared their own stories. And then came the messages from my extended family. Aunt Linda, I'm so sorry, Max. I had no idea they treated you like that. Uncle Jim, they always seemed a bit off, but this. I'm speechless. Cousin Sarah, proud of you, Max. You deserve better. But the best message came from Ava. Ava, you ruined us. Are you happy now? I replied with just 3 words. I am free. I spent that evening walking through the now silent house. No shouting, no insults, no pretending to be less just to keep the peace. The house was mine. Finally, I redecorated, repainted, made it feel like a home, my home. No one else's. For once in my life, I wasn't their tool, their joke, their punching bag. I was in control, and I wasn't done. I had $8 million, a fresh start, and nothing holding me back. And they had nothing. I thought they would vanish after the eviction, that they'd curse my name and leave me alone. I was wrong. The calls came first, endless, desperate. Mom crying, Dad raging, Ava pretending to apologize. But I ignored them. Then they turned to lies. Dad posted on Facebook, claiming I stole their house. My ungrateful son betrayed his own family, he wrote, tagging relatives and old friends. But I was ready. I replied with the truth, screenshots of Ava's texts, where she laughed about stealing from me, the bank statements showing how they drained my accounts, the audio clip of Dad admitting they used me because I was too weak to fight back. The backlash was instant. Their friends turned against them. Relatives messaged me, shocked. Mom tried to defend herself, but her voice was drowned out by the truth. They tried begging. Mom appeared at my door one rainy night, pounding, her voice raw. Max, please, we're your family. I stood behind the locked door, watching through the peephole, cold and silent. You're not my family, I whispered, and I turned away. Dad tried a more pathetic approach. He showed up at a local cafe, loudly crying to anyone who'd listen about his ungrateful son. I walked right up to him. You mean the son who paid your bills while you mocked him online? Want me to show everyone the proof? His face went pale. He fled, a coward among strangers. But they still wouldn't stop. So I took the final step. I sold the house, not for money, but for closure. The developer planned to turn the entire neighborhood into a luxury complex. Within weeks, the demolition began. They stood in the street, watching in horror as their old kingdom, the house they thought they ruled, was torn apart, brick by brick. I watched too, from the comfort of my new penthouse. A gift to myself, paid in full. I didn't need their love. I didn't need their apologies. Blocked, erased, forgotten. I leaned against the glass of my balcony, looking out at the city. Cold wind on my face. Silence in my mind. Peace in my chest. I didn't just escape them. I took back control. And for the first time in my life, I was free. I stood by the window of my new penthouse, watching the city lights shimmer. Once, I was their tool, their joke. But now, I am free. And most importantly, I realized that true family isn't the one you're born into, but the one that values you without conditions.